record. Then he keeps telling four kind of unfortunate people who, they never take to Krishna consciousness at all. So till now we have done Karma Yoga, we have done Jnana Yoga. Yesterday we did Ashtanga Yoga. Today we are going to do Jnana Vijnana Yoga, knowledge of the Absolute. So there are two types of knowledge. One is spiritual knowledge. Okay, that is permanent. Spiritual knowledge will never go waste. Whatever you're learning today, all these 18 days, it will not go waste. That's Krishna's promise. And second is material knowledge. That is temporary. So what is example to be given? Any look, like if you have done PhD or we are a scholar, okay, we have done PhD, but after that, that person dies. Will his knowledge of that PhD carry on in his next life? What do you say? Yes or no? No, it won't. In next life, he has to start from nursery onwards. A, B, C, D, mother and father will start teaching. So that is why it is called temporary knowledge or apara vidya. Then there is spiritual knowledge that you are getting now. It will never diminish, never go waste. So in next life, you will continue from where you stopped. You have finished 18 chapters. You have learned thoroughly Bhagavad Gita. You will start from thereafter. So that is permanent vidya, permanent knowledge, para vidya, right? But still we are running after material desires. We are running after devatas, asking them for material gains, right? Please give me something, give me Lakshmi, give me Dhan, give me Dhanteras, give me Dhan. So we are asking a temporary material prosperity, right? But these devatas also, they are getting their powers from Krishna. So don't you think it is best to surrender to Krishna directly? That is why Krishna in this chapter is confirming here that he is the ultimate truth. He is the highest authority. He has all the divinities, all the divine attributes, like he is completely omnipotent. He is all powerful. He is omnipresent everywhere. He is there everywhere. He is omniscient. He knows everything. So let's see what he tells us in chapter 7. First shloka. He's asking Arjuna to listen very carefully. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjanmada Shrayah Asamshayam Samagram Ma Yathajnasya Chruno. Anybody volunteers? Any volunteers to read? Please raise your hand. You can get a chance. You
now,
yourself.
O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt.
So at the end of 6th chapter, it is clearly stated, Krishna consciousness is the highest yoga. So that is why now Krishna is telling in this chapter to begin with, he says, Tat Shrunu Arjuna, meaning listen to me. Shrunu means listen. So there is no more who is greater than Krishna. We know that, right? So Arjuna is getting the privilege from hearing from the best of best, Krishna. So we should either learn from Krishna himself or from a pure devotee of Krishna, right? So in Bhagavad Purana also it is written that once we develop devotion, what will happen? We will become free from all these modes of three natures like Rajoguna, Tamoguna and all this, everything. And we will stop running after these material things. Our greed, our wants will reduce. The moment this contamination will be gone, you will see, slowly you will settle down in the mode of goodness. And you will get that energy. You will notice yourself. Where am I getting this energy from? You will think, but it is through devotion. Slowly you will come to Bhagavad Tattva, that is God element completely. So let's see. Lord and his incarnations are free from imperfections. Can anyone tell me what is the first picture? What avatara is God's avatara? Which avatara?
Narasimha.
Picture number 1. 1.
It's Matsya Avatar.
Matsya Avatar.
Matsya
Very
Avatar.
good.
Avatar.
Number 2.
Tot.
Yeah, tortoise, but what avatara is that?
Kurma
Kurma
Avatar.
avatara. Yes. Number 3. Varaha avatara.
Varaha.
Number 4.
Narsimha.
Yeah. Number 5. Short. Very short.
Rama. No.
Vamana.
Very nice. Vamana. Number 6. Very angry.
Parshuram.
Parshuram. Number 7.
Krishna.
Rama.
Ram. Very good.
Rama.
Number 8.
Krishna Avatar.
Krishna. Number 9.
Buddha.
Buddha. And number 10, which may come.
Kalki.
Kalki. Yes. Very good. Excellent. Thank you. So knowledge is we get through hearing. We need to have this ways to acquire knowledge. How do we acquire knowledge? Through hearing. It can be ascending process, but it has its defects, right? Because we need faith. We have to get here from where? If we go ascending process, science to some level, by discovering what exists, senses are completely imperfect and limited, right? We have tendency to commit mistakes. We have cheating propensity. We learned in chapter 4. And there is illusion, right? So we are imperfect. So then what should we do if we are imperfect? So we have to ask from a perfect source to make any life decision. So we have to move on, right? We have to go to a better position. For example, you see this apple. From that, in the mirror, you see apple looks complete, but this side it is half cut. So it is illusion. Now you see this. What is this? Cheating propensity. So we are imperfect that way. So what should we do? So we have to invest our faith. In some place we do usually invest our faith, right? When we go to the doctor and he says you have to do surgery, we completely trust him that he will do it, right? When we go to a pharmacist, we completely are trusting him to give us better medicine. When we are sitting in a bus or a train or BTS or flight, we are completely trusting the driver or the pilot or the bus conductor or bus driver, sorry. So when we are going to a barber, he is cutting our hair, we trust him that he will not do anything wrong. So we need faith. Faith is very important. So we should nurture back the faith in scriptures also, because it has been coming from centuries. It has been eroded. We are not reading our Bhagavad Gita. We do everything else but read Bhagavad Gita. So descending process is the right way of getting from parampara. We need to receive knowledge from the authority. Then we will understand better. That is why we are reading Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. Then what does Krishna say about Jnanam? Jnanam teham tapsa vijnanam idam vakshamya sheshatah yat jnatva neha bhuyo nyat jnatavyam avashishyate. Yes, please.
I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous, by knowing which there shall remain nothing further to be known.
Yes.
Knowledge through hearing.
Yes, knowledge through hearing. Krishna wants to explain the system of knowledge because Arjuna is Krishna's very confidential devotee and friend. Now, what is jnana? It is knowledge. Everybody knows, right? So how do you learn? You are applying your mind, you are applying your senses, you are applying your intellect. That is what jnana, knowledge you get from, right? You have to apply your mind. Otherwise, how will you get the knowledge? Now, what is vijnana? Vijnana means wisdom. That is the knowledge gained by practice. Vijnan, science is what? To experiment, you get that knowledge, right? So practice, spiritual practice in this term. So directly you're getting that experiential realization because you're practicing. So you're getting it. That is what it is, Vijnana. For example, like we have honey in a sealed jar. Okay. So we have heard that honey is very sweet. It has the sweetest taste. That is not at all comparable to any other sweet. But unless and until we open the jar and we taste it, we will not know. We will not know, right? If we open the jar and we taste it, then we will get the experiential sweetness. That is Vijnana. So we have to open it. So Bhagavad Gita is closed. Now we open it, understand, swallow inside. Then you will understand. So likewise, Guru will give us Jnana. He will give us theoretical knowledge. I am going to explain the scripture to you right now. But we need to practice. You need to chant. You have to do sadhana. You have to do meditation. You have to follow the scripture as per the jnana that you have got. That will what is going to purify our mind. Mataji, I have heard Bhagavad Gita, but nothing is happening. No, it will not happen because you're not practicing. So you have to practice as well. That is through self-realization. Go inside, go within. So in this verse, Arjuna is confirming to Arjuna, Krishna is confirming to Arjuna that he will impart theoretical knowledge regarding Krishna, regarding himself. He will also illuminate his mind with the wisdom that is required for him to know. But once the knowledge is required, there will be nothing much to know, right? In the next shloka, Lord Krishna will talk about his spiritual perfection. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidyatiti siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatvatah. Yes, Pranjit.
Out of many thousand among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and one of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth.
Look at the picture. What is happening in that picture? Anybody? In the first
People are
picture, on the above
Marathon.
picture, what is happening?
running marathon.
Everyone is running.
Yeah, everybody is running. So many people running. Will all reach the finish line?
No.
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 There will be only one who may who may come first, right? So Srila Prabhupada nicely explains that out of thousands of human beings, it is probably very rare a person who may be interested in knowing what is soul, what is body, what is our ultimate destination, what is the ultimate truth. We are completely engaged in these material instincts. We want to buy this, we want to buy this, we have to go this, there. Completely our mind is engaged there. And what are our mind engaged in? Food, sleep, fear. Hardly anybody is interested in divine knowledge. Nobody wants to know. So far we have understood that Lord Krishna is the cause of all causes, right? We have understood that in even Brahma Samhita it says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adi Govindaha Sarvakarana Karanam, he says that. So it is very difficult for non-devotees to know him. They will not understand Krishna or Yashodanandan or Parthasarathi, right? Sometimes even the great deities get confused about Krishna. Muhyanti yat suryaha. In the end, I will try, and if there is time, I will narrate Brahma Vimohana Leela with you all. Then I will tell you how Brahma got, total Brahm he got. So how is that even a perfected soul is not able to know a God? Because it's very simple. Without bhakti, without devotion, it is not possible to know Krishna. So those who are practicing karma yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga, they cannot know God unless and until they add or they include bhakti or devotion in practice. So Lord Krishna has been stated in this verse that only one among numerous humans will be knowing him in truth. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatiti siddhaye. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tatvata. Only maybe one may come to understand me. Yeah. He says in chapter 8 also, Purushasya parah partha bhaktya labhyasta nanyaya. He says, nobody is, is greater than all. The person will come to know me only because of unalloyed devotion, he says. So let's move on. Bhumira aponalo vayuhu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti rashtadha.
Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 comprise my separated material energies.
So Krishna has this material energy, right? He has got material energy, spiritual energy. Material energy comprises of 8. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So this is called, these are the 5 elements plus 3, right? So we know what are those. Then in this verse, all these 8 elements are simply parts of Maya, material energy. In the next verse, he will describe his superior energy. So what is that superior energy? The soul energy. Apareyamitastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat.
Besides this inferior nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is a superior energy of mind, which are all living entities who are struggling with material nature and are sustaining the universe.
So Krishna has explained beyond the eightfold that Prakriti, that eight elements that is used, the material energy. He says that material energy is inferior. There is another far superior energy also. This energy is transcendental as compared to the lifeless matter, right? So it is a spiritual energy, the Jiva Shakti, soul. Soul, that is the spiritual energy. So what we come to understand is there are three entities, right? One is matter, body. It is gone, perishable. Second is individual soul, which is never perishable. It remains there. Whether this body will go away, but soul will remain. Third is God, who controls both the body and the soul. So if we meditate upon God and unite with him, become more like him, the soul is free from this world's maya, from this illusion. So what is the takeaway that we can get from this shloka? We understand that we have come from Krishna. We have come from Krishna. So what is our goal? We must follow Krishna. We have come from him, right? We must follow him. He is our parent. Then we should go. He is Satchit Ananda. Etadhyonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya aham krishnasya jagatah prabhava pralayasthatha.
Of all that is material and that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both its origin and dissolution.
I am his origin and dissolution. Origin is Prabhava and destroyer is Pralaya. He is both. Look at the picture. So many bubbles. What are these bubbles? Nothing but universes. There are so many numerous universes. And ours is just a tiny part of it. So everything that exists, it's a product of matter and spirit. Matter is like body and the spirit is the soul. So it is a product of both. So living beings, they are a manifestation of God's two energies. What are those? One is, I told you, Jiva Shakti, that's spiritual energy, and material energy, Maya. These two, lifeless, which is body. So in this material realm, what will happen? All life, whatever you are seeing, is body plus soul together. Now, body, if you put body by itself, it will be like a robot. There is no life in it. It will not be, it is lifeless. And this soul, it needs a body to carry it, right? So soul needs a body, and body can, without a soul, cannot work, right? So both come together and then living being is formed. This much we have understood by this shloka. So material body is developed because soul is present in it. What are the symptoms that soul is present in it? The symptoms are like the body grows. The child grows gradually to boyhood, then adulthood, then manhood. That because the soul is there. If soul is not there, the body will not grow. That is the symptom. We may build a huge skyscraper, huge building, Taj Mahal, big city. We can build everything, but we cannot be a cause of a big universe. Who is that? There is somebody who's building, right? So the cause of big universe is the big soul. Krishna. He is the supreme. He is the cause of big and small souls. Mattav parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamidam protam sutre manigana iva.
O conqueror of wealth, Arjuna, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread.
So nicely is explained here. Krishna, he is telling over here, he states that his position is supreme in this universe. He is the creator, he is the maintainer, he is the annihilator. How? The picture you can see pearls. Pearls are strung in a thread. So it can move in its place. God has given us all these individual souls, he has given a free will to act as they wish. Yet their existence is bound to Krishna, to him. What is this now? Yet, for example, you see. Can you see my beads here? No, I will have to hold it up. Okay. What is this now? My beads, right? So these are my beads. So these beads, what is it in between the beads? There is a thread. So these beads are strung to a thread, but I can rotate the beads in its place. But if I try to pull it out, it will all scatter. So all these are living entities God says all these are living entities. He has given freedom to move. So it can move in its place, but it cannot come out of it, right? So who is holding this? The string is holding it. Similarly, something is holding this whole universe. Something is holding us, right? What? It's the thread inside, right? Otherwise, what will happen to the beads? All the beads will fall off or separate. Same way, somebody is holding the universe also together. Someone is making the sun to rise. Someone is making the moon to set. Someone is keeping the planets in its place. Who is doing it? There is somebody who is greater, who is doing this, but we cannot see him. Why? Because we don't have the quality to see him. If the thread is broken in this mala, all the beads will scatter. So in the same case, if Krishna is not there, everything will scatter. Just because we cannot see him doesn't mean he is not there. It's only that we cannot see him, right? Like if it's a cloudy day, for example, can we see the sun? No, we cannot. But does that mean that sun is not there? Sun is there, but we can't see it. Similarly, Krishna is there. If we want to see Krishna, we have to love Krishna. We have to have love for Krishna, right? Like for a lack of a good example, I can tell you that there is a topmost person in your university or office, CEO or dean or whoever. Is there anyone superior equal to them in the university or office? No. Similarly, is there anyone superior or equal to Krishna? No. So what is the takeaway that we take from here? We have to improve our vision by hearing to see the unseen. We should be able to understand that there is somebody. So don't try to see God. Work in a way that God will see you. God will want to see you. You work in that way. You chant, you work hard. God will come to see you. You don't have to say, oh, I cannot see God, I cannot see God. No need to say that. Krishna is the essence of everything. Raso hamapsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi suryayoho pranava sarva vedeshu shabdah ke paurusham rushu.
O son of Kunti, Arjuna, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras, I am the sound in ether and ability in man.
Lord Krishna, what did he say in previous verse? That he is the origin, he is the sustainer, he is the annihilator, right? Everything everything is existing based on him. So now he's explaining also, right? Now anybody knows any mantra with starting with Om? Any mantra you know starting with Om? Any?
Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha.
Yeah. Anything else? Yes. Anything else? Again.
Om Narsimha Vidmahe.
Om Narsimha Vidmahe. Again. Any other?
Om Ajnanatimirandasya.
Om Ajnanatimirasya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ganeshaya Nama. Om Namah Shivaya. Om. There are so many Oms, right? But why is there no Om in Hare Krishna mantra? Because Krishna here in this shloka, he himself is telling the syllable Om. I am the syllable Om in Vedic mantras. You can read the translation. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. I am the syllable Om in Vedic mantras. Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. I am the Om. So that is why Krishna does not, Hare Krishna mantra does not have Om. Because already in Hare Krishna we have 4 times Krishna. That is why there are no rules for chanting. Because if you have to chant Om, for example, there are a lot of rules to follow. You have to take bath, you have to follow some niyam, and then you can do. Hare Krishna, you have nothing to follow. There is no Om. You just have Hare Krishna. Krishna itself himself is Om. So here, when you see the water, you look at water. In science, we learn that water is odorless, colorless, and God knows what else. But in spiritual world, it says it has taste. So like, for example, if I have some solid food, I put it on the tongue, right? Will I get the taste? No, unless and until the saliva in the mouth goes and dissolves the part of the food, I won't get the taste of it, right? Any solid you put and just leave it on the tongue, nothing will happen. Unless the saliva goes, mixes with it, then you get the taste of it. That is how the taste buds work. Who can separate the taste of water from water? Lord Krishna, that is why I say he is the taste in water. Every time you look at water, thank God. Remember Krishna. Because Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya, he is in the taste of water. Every time you drink water, remember Krishna. Like you have come from some gym or some office or wherever you are tired and you want to drink water, but your wife or mom or brother, sister, they offer you some kind of smoothie. So you will say, no, 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 I don't want smoothie. That is not going to quench my thirst. I need water first, right? So it is very important. After drinking water only, we feel, oh, good, I'm feeling blissful. So that is Krishna. And Krishna says, he is the sun, he is the moon, Shashi Surya Yo, he is the sun, he is the moon, he is the Om. We see Krishna everywhere. He is the ultimate energy. We will see in the next slide. See, he is the taste in water. He is the light in moon and sun. He is the Om in Vedic mantras. He is the sound in ether. He is the ability in man. He is the fragrance in earth. He is the heat in the fire. He is the life in all the lives. He is the penance of all ascetics. He is the original seed in all the, he is the Bija Pradapita, he says. I am the original seed everywhere, every living entity. He is the intelligent of the intelligent. Here, have you ever thought why some people are more intelligent than us? They're more intelligent than others. Why do they have greater brilliance in their thoughts and ideas? It's because of God's grace. God gives them that intelligence. Like Steve Jobs, he came up with this Apple thing, iOS. That is why we are able to use this iPhone, using laptops and a Mac and everything. We are putting good use at the lotus feet of Krishna. Similarly, Bill Gates had changed the whole big revolution to Windows operating system. He made it so user-friendly. People are able to use it. It's so easy to use. So it could be through God's plan only. God develops one such person's intellect in such a way because he wants to save us from chaos. So there are many such examples, great people he has made. So he is now prowess in all powerful men. He is the strength in the strong, and he is also the sex life in not contrary to religious principles. He has mentioned that within the institution of marriage, when sexual activity is undertaken for procreation, for children, according to scriptural injunctions, it is virtuous. But if it is like for our pleasure, then it is beastly, animalistic, and nothing else, right? These are all Krishna's material energy. After this, he is going to tell that it is very difficult to overcome Maya, but he will explain. Daivi hesha gunamayi mama maya duratyaya mame vaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite.
This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
You look at the picture. If you are drowning and you look around for help, and suddenly you see a helicopter coming down to help you, how will you feel? Oh, thank God I have survived and I have escaped this bad time. Same way, if Krishna is with us, we can cross this material world. It is very difficult to challenge this Maya. It is Maya is very challenging. It is very difficult to cross. But if we have that love, we have that devotion for Krishna, he will take care of us. Nothing to worry about. No need to worry about. Just Krishna will hold you, just as in the picture. We may get a doubt. Is it impossible to overcome Maya? Second line is the answer to this question. Mame vaye prapadyante maya me tam tarantite. So what is Lord Krishna saying here? Whoever will surrender to me, surrender, complete surrender, then by my grace, they will smoothly cross the ocean of material existence. That's what he says. We again get this kind of question. If it is so easy to defeat Maya, then why is it that most of us fail to defeat Maya? That he is explaining in the next verse. Namam dushkritino mudhaha prapadyante naradhamaha mayaya aparta jnanaha Asuram bhavamashritah.
Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me.
Yeah, we fail. Why do we fail? Why are we not able to defeat Maya? Because Krishna says there are 4 categories of people who don't want to surrender to him. Who are they? Mudha, foolish. He is like a hard-working beast of burden. They just want to enjoy the labor of their fruits. They don't want to give to anything to Krishna. Nothing is, it's mine. They're foolish, completely fruitive workers who does not know whom he should work for. Then another class, there is Naradhama. Nara, lowest of mankind. Naradhama. Dhamma is lowest. So they are Adhama. Adhama means lower, lowest. They have the knowledge. They are aware of what they should do. But still, they're lazy. Due to their Adhama or lower nature, they don't want to take any initiative to surrender to God. So it's a big pitfall actually for someone, if we are on the path of spirituality and we become Naradhama, fall. There is this picture you can see. It's a story of Jagai and Madai. Once while chanting the name of Krishna in the streets, Nityananda Prabhu was attacked by Jagai and Madai because they were drunk. They were in drunken. So Madai threw an earthen pot at Nityananda Prabhu because he was saying Hare Krishna mantra loudly. So he didn't like it. He threw at him. And he got hurt. But Nityanand Prabhu, what did he say? In Bengali, he said, I'm not very good at it, but I can read that in the screen. Mere sheesh kolshir kana tai bole ke prem dovena. Means, shall I stop loving you? Just because you have hit me with an earthen pot? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he was very angry because Nityanand Prabhu was hurt. So he wanted to kill the brothers, but Nityanand Prabhu, please forgive him. And then Nityanand Prabhu, of course, he is very compassionate, so he forgave him. Then there are actually deluded intellects also, who are completely like philosophers, scientists. They are very cool. Oh, there is no God existing. This system is not, there's no God. They're kind of no faith in scriptures and teachings of the saints, right? They are philosophers, poets, and scientists. Their illusionary energy, Maya misguides them. Then 4th is demonic nature. Demonic nature, they are aware there is God. They know God's purpose. They know that what God is and what is their purpose for the world. But no, I don't want to obey you. I want to work against you. Why? Because of their demonic nature. They do not like God and his glories. We have example as Ravana and Hiranyakashipu. 4 types of people who reject Krishna. I'm just revising one more time so that we know. Mudha, who is grossly foolish. Naradhama, who is lowest of mankind. Mayayapa, Hritajnana, these speculators like scientists, philosophers who say, oh, we don't have faith in scriptures. And Asuram Bhavam Ashritaha means demonic nature people, right? So what do we understand from this? If one who has no time for spirituality, it's like he's busier than God intended us to be. If you have no time for spirituality, is it that you don't have time for God? That means you are busier than God. It's time to introspect. You have to check whether we are in divine mode or demonic mode. You have to understand. Then we have another set of people who accept Krishna. Chatur vidha bhajante mam jana sukrito norjuna arto jignyasurarthati jnani cha bharatarshava.
O best among the Bharatas, Arjuna, 4 kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and who is searching for knowledge of the absolute.
Absolute. So in previous verse, he described 4 categories of people who do not want to surrender to Krishna. Now he is describing 4 types of people who want to surrender, who take refuge. And who are they? They are distressed, desirer of wealth, artharthi. Then inquisitive, jignyasu, and who is searching for knowledge of the absolute jnana. So the distress, the arth, they have pot of miseries overflowing, and they are not able to cope up in this material world. They decide to take shelter of God. They say, God, please give me some shelter. They turn to God for protection. Like in Mahabharata, Draupadi, she turned to Govinda. She said, Govinda, Krishna, please help me, when she was being disrobed by Duryodhan and Dushashan, right, in the courtroom. Then Jignasu. Jignasu, they want knowledge seekers. They want to understand. They're inquisitive. They're curious. They're eager to, hear what is Maharaj Parikshit, Abhimanyu's son. He wanted to inquire from Shukadev Goswami, right? There were many other rishis also. They were all eager. They were all wanting to know Bhagavatam about Krishna. Then there are Artharthi, seekers of worldly possessions. I want this, I want that. They take shelter of God because they are convinced that only God can provide them for what they are seeking. King Dhruv was apt example, He was a small boy. He was neglected by his father. So he disheartened. He went into the forest. He did a lot of penance, puja, tapasya, to please God. He wanted to become more powerful than his father. Later, of course, when his devotion grew, he realized that possessing God is the priceless jewel than anything else, right? Divine love is the greatest. So later he didn't ask for it, but that's the intention with which he went into the forest. Then Jnani. Jnani are the sages in Naimisharanya. Such people, they engage in devotion. Such people are great sages. They want to help the world in general as such. So these are the four people who accept Krishna. Who are those? Artha, the distressed. Artharthi, the desirer of wealth. Jignasu, the inquisitive. And Jnani, the one who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. So here, whether we have desire, we don't have desire, what do we learn from this is worship Krishna. Desire or no desire, worship Krishna. So who can tell me what is picture number 1?
It's a story actually where the elephant was going to die and Krishna comes
Yeah, Gajendra.
crocodile was,
Right, Mataji. Right,
crocodile was,
Gajendra. Second picture?
and he was, it's Draupadi, Vastraharan.
Vastraharan. Number 3, anybody can tell? It is Shukadev Goswami in the womb of wife of Vyasa Maharishi. Wife's name was Vatika. He didn't want to come out. He stayed in her womb for 16 years. He said, I don't want to come out. I don't want to indulge in this Maya. Then Lord Krishna came and he said, no, you come out. I will make sure that you are protected from Maya. Number 4 is Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadev Goswami. Parikshit Maharaj is hearing Bhagavatam. Number 5, can anyone tell?
Dhruv.
Yeah, correct. Dhruv Maharaj. And number 6?
Ramayana.
Yeah, correct. Ramayana. Sugriv, he is distressed, so he goes and seeks help from Ram. And number 7, they are all stages in Naimisharanya. They are all Jignasu, Jnani. They want to hear more about Lord Krishna. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha.
After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare.
Yes. In this verse, what Lord Krishna is telling, he is declaring that Jnani spends several lifetimes cultivating knowledge. He is gaining knowledge. And then ultimately when his Jnana, it matures, then he finally surrenders to God. Bhakti has to be added. Without bhakti, nothing is going to happen, right? When the fruit will mature completely, it becomes ripe, then it becomes heavy and falls. Falling means what? Humility, surrender. So when this knowledge becomes completely ripe, then it falls, surrenders to God. So such a nice analogy of fruit and Jnani. So like here I always give an example of a man walking on the beach, right? Let's say he steps on some kind of a gold ring. He sees a gold ring. So he thinks, it's an artificial jewelry, maybe something like looks like 20 rupees worth it. Okay, never mind. Just he keeps it in his pocket and he forgets it. Then after a few days, he remembers, okay, I have a friend who's a goldsmith. Let me show it to him. He checks, oh, this, you are wearing this ring, or this ring, it's pure gold. It's worth 25,000 rupees. Now this man is very much happy. He's thrilled. He said, oh, wow, I found something very precious. Now he starts wearing it every day. Few days passes by, and then one day his uncle visits him, and he is a jeweler, coincidentally. And he sees the ring. He says, oh, you know what? The stone on this ring, it is diamond. I know this is a very precious diamond. Where did you get this? It must be at least, 1.5 lakhs. The man is overwhelmed. He cannot believe his eyes. He cannot believe his ears, what his uncle just said. His uncle understood and said, see, I think you are not believing me. I am ready to buy right away. I'll give you this much money. Now, this man is completely gone. He's flying up. He understood, oh my God, diamond studded gold ring. He knows its real value now. So what does this tell us? This story, this example demonstrates that direct relationship between the knowledge, the value of the ring that was perceived by the man before was less. The love for it was very, very less, right, before. But as the knowledge of its value kept increasing, his love became more and more. He started loving the ring more because of the knowledge that he got. Lord Krishna says the Jnanis, they spend several births and deaths or lifetimes seeking true knowledge. So when their knowledge matures into true wisdom, that's when they surrender to him. So such, of course, he says, Samahatma Sudurlabha, such rare, noble souls are very rare. Similarly, when we understand the knowledge, we get this knowledge of Krishna, then we understand, we get, the moment it sinks in, we have that love or devotion for Krishna. But again, he says such a great soul is very rare. Kamaistaistairhitajnanaha prapadyante devataha tam tam niyamamasthaya prakritya niyatasvaya.
Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures.
So Krishna is telling over here in this shloka number 20 that people who worship devatas, they do it for some material gains, right? Like let's see the Prime Minister of our country. He appoints different ministries, right? Ministers for different departments. The ministers also have power, but they have local power. They have it locally. They can do us a favor, like within their power of jurisdiction. Whatever power they have, they can help us, but not beyond that, right? Because ultimate power, we know it rests with PM, Prime Minister, isn't it? Similarly, Lord Krishna also, he appoints these devatas in different positions. They are working for God's creation. They are deriving their power from the God. If God will not give them power, they won't get. If the ministers, Prime Minister doesn't give the power to the ministers, they cannot do anything. So these devatas also derive their powers from God. They are not independent of him, right? They are under him. So they can bestow the devotees some of the things they can give us. They can give us material things. That is under their control. They can, some of the devatas they can give, but they cannot liberate anyone from this cycle of life and death, because they themselves are not liberated. They are also in this cycle of birth and death. That devata is a position. Even we can get that position if we do pious karmas. We can also get Indra's position. We can get also Varun's position. We can also get Agni Devata's position. Even till Brahma's position, we living entities can get. These are all positions. These devatas are just like souls like us only. They have attained because of their results of pious deeds in the previous lives. So because once the pious thing will deplete, they have to return back to earth. So whatever devatas will give, it's temporary. That's what shloka says. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhayarmitum ichchati tasya tasyachalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham.
I am in everyone's heart as a super soul. As soon as one desires to worship the demigods, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to some particular deity.
He's so kind, so merciful. He says, when he sees that people are worshipping devatas for some material gain, mujhe naukri de do, give me some promotion, give me child, give me Lakshmi, give me this. When he sees that, he helps them in their devotion. He steadies their faith. So Lord Krishna earlier also mentioned, right? Those who are in true knowledge, they engage in the highest and most beautiful kind of Shraddha. They will worship Krishna, the Supreme Lord. So we may get this doubt, like why Supreme Lord creates faith in people towards devatas. Is it not inappropriate? Why should he create this faith then? So like I always give example of my grandson. He has got a toy. Yeah, he has named it Piku. So he plays with it all the time. So whenever he's playing, he plays with it as if it's a real person. He shows affection. He will comb. He will do this. He will do that. Right? And as a grandparent or parent, we know that that's just a toy. But the child's innocence is there, right? We encourage him to play. Why? Because we want to develop the child's qualities of value system, like kindness, qualities of love, qualities of being very caring, very affectionate towards people. That's how the child develops. When he's doing with the toy, he is practicing. So we encourage those qualities because those qualities will help the child to become socially responsible when they grow up. Similarly, Krishna is our eternal parent. He is aware of our ignorance. He knows that we are ignorant people. So when he sees that these souls are engaged in Devata worship, okay, he will help us. He'll say, okay, surely, slowly, with experience, with awareness, they will understand as the soul is evolving and we will get true knowledge. We will understand that we have to surrender to Krishna. Sataya Shraddhaya Yuktaha Tasya Labhate च ततः कामान् मय्येव विहितानि तान्. Hare Krishna. Nobody's to read. Anybody who
Men
wants
of
to read?
small
Yeah, please.
intelligence, men of
Men of
small
Yeah, please.
intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet.
Endowed with such faith, he seeks the favor of particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. See, again, labhate means obtain. As I told in the previous verse, just devtas are giving, but actually it is God who is facilitating everything. Antavantu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpamedhasam devan devayajo yanti madbhakta yanti mamapi. But we are of small intelligence. We are worshipping demigods. But the fruits we are not understanding, it's temporary. And those who are worshipping demigods, of course, will go to the planets of demigods. But if we worship Krishna, we will straight away go to Golok Vrindavan. We don't have to come back ever again. That's what Krishna says. Now the question may come up, when reaching God is ultimate destination, then why God has to steady our faith? And you know what, to worship Devatas, right? Like for example, when our kids join primary school, they cannot stay at that level forever. They have to be promoted to the next grade. Even though primary school is necessary, students outgrow that and they keep moving higher and higher, right? So similarly, if we worship Devatas, that's the primary level. We need to outgrow that. We have to move on to Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is not for primary school students, right? Who are trying to attain Devatas. It is for those devotees who are seeking a higher purpose. We are away from this material thing. We want something higher taste we want. So Devatas are also perishable. They will also come down. So whatever fruits they are giving us also is temporary, because they themselves are temporary. But God, Krishna, is imperishable. So whatever he will give, that is permanent, right? So those who will worship Krishna will stay forever in his service. Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavritah mudho yam nabhijanati loko mamajam avyayam.
I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by my eternal creative potency, Yogamaya, and so the deluded world knows me not, who am unborn and infallible.
Thank you, Mata. So delusion. Delusion means what? False belief. Lord Krishna is mentioning, he mentioned two of his divine energies, right? Before we talked about material energy with body, 8 elements are made, and spiritual energy, the soul. 2 energies he has already spoken. Now he's talking about his third and most powerful energy, Yogamaya. Yogamaya is his internal potency. It is internal, his internal energy. Very, very strong energy. That is his, right? Even in the present, if we are fortunate enough to see Lord in his personal form, we will not be able to recognize him. Why? Because we don't have that Divya Chakshu. We don't have that, eyes to see him. We don't have that divine vision. The Yogamaya keeps God's divine form concealed from us. He is covered with Yogamaya. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana.
O
O
Arjuna,
Arjuna,
as a supreme personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows.
Exactly. So he is the knower of past, present, future. We we don't even remember what happened few years ago. God is all knowing, omniscient. He remembers, and he is remember one thing. He is keeping the record of our deeds. He is keeping the record of all our words. He is keeping the records of all our thoughts also, of every individual. You can imagine how he is able to maintain all these records throughout their life. And then, I don't know, since infinite lifetimes also he's recorded everything. That's why we get the next life according to our karmas. He records everything. We have to be very careful about our thought, words, and deed. From this moment, start thinking. Ichha dvesha samuthena dvanda mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sarge yanti parantapa. Yes, please.
O scion of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate.
Srila Prabhupada in his purport, he explains very nicely that our real position, what is our real position? Our real position is to be the servitors of the Lord. We are his servants of the Lord, because Krishna is all knowledge. He is Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. We learned that, right? Bhoktaram Yagi Tapsam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So he is Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. We are his servitors. So when we move away from his pure knowledge, we are controlled by Maya. That's the illusory. 2 minutes you move away, somebody is saying, let's go shopping. You forget all about Bhagavad Gita, everything gone. You are again into Maya. So it's very difficult. Maya is very, very strong. It's so strong. It's very difficult to understand this. And unless and until we are complete in devotion towards Krishna and we are doing devotional service, we cannot understand Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Maya manifests duality of desire and hate also. Due to desire and hate also, what happens? We all, we think that we are one with Krishna. Oh, we are one. And some people even envy Krishna also. But pure devotees, they are not deluded. They are not contaminated by this desire and hate. They understand that Lord Krishna appears by his internal potency, that Yogamaya, that's a superior energy. This whole spiritual world, it's the manifestation by his internal energy. They know how the whole universe is being run. But those who are not, those who are ignorant, they think Krishna, he is created by material energy. He is also like us, 8 material energies. Even Krishna is made like that, nothing different. Such people, they are dwelling in dualities, dishonor, honor, woman, man, good, bad, pleasure. pain, then we start thinking, oh, this is my wife, this is my husband, that is my son, this is my daughter. Completely they are in this delusion. They are not my wife or husband. There's another soul. We have just been together here. We are not able to understand. We are completely foolish that way. So why is one covered by illusion? Because of desire. We have a lot of desire, and because of hate, dvesha. That is very, very big reasons. If we remove these two, we can get closer to God. Sadhi bhutadhi daivam mam sadhi yajñam cha ye vidu prayana kale picha mam te vidur yukta chetasaha.
Those who know me as the Supreme Lord, as the governing principle of the material manifestation, who know me as the one underlying all the demigods and as the one sustaining all sacrifices, can with steadfast mind understand and know me even at the time of death.
This is so nice verse. Lord Krishna is mentioning all the enlightened souls who know him. They are devoted to him. At the time of their death, if they are in full consciousness of him, such true devotees will attain his divine abode, Goloka Vrindavan. So if we have to attain that Goloka Vrindavan, what to do? 24/7, just keep him in your mind. You may do your work, but how can we remember God even at the time of death? It's a very painful process, death. In Bhagavatam, I think it's written. It's like, I don't know, 35,000 or 65,000, I don't remember the number exactly. 65,000 scorpions fighting you or stinging you at that moment together. That kind of pain comes. That last 3-4 seconds, it says in Bhagavatam. It's a painful journey. So difficult to remember anything in that state, right? How to remember God? So answer is given over here, that we have to constantly think of Krishna. It's not that at the time of death, I'm going to say Krishna and I will, if you're lucky, you may say and you may get heavenly abode also. But hardly it happens because we are in so much pain. So Lord Krishna says those who are enlightened, they're ever filled with devotion. Their mind, their intellect, everything is surrendered. It's attached to God. It is loving God only. So their bodies are beyond pleasure and pain, you know. So at the time of death, they are not bothered about their pain in the body. They are always connected to God there. So naturally, they'll be promoted to Goloka Vrindavan, right? So this whole 7th chapter is all about how we can become completely Krishna consciousness person. So the takeaway from this is, forget the past. Begin wherever you are today. It's never too late to start a spiritual journey. Even at my age, it's never too late to start a spiritual journey. Go spiritual journey back home. That's our home actually. So what did we learn in chapter 7? We have to get knowledge through hearing. And ascending process is not possible because we have 4 limitations. That cheating propensity, illusion, we commit mistakes, our senses are also imperfect. So we have to go through descending process. What is the descending process? We have to learn from a bona fide parampara. We have to learn from a proper parampara, like Srila Prabhupada's book we are reading now. Then Krishna's energy. We know Krishna's energy, material energy, 8 elements, and superior energy, that is soul. And then his internal potency or Yogamaya. So Krishna is the essence of everything. He is into everything, all the material things we have seen, right? He is the sun, he is the moon, he is in Pranav mantra, Om, he is in water, he is in everything. Then we come, he is all powerful. Then comes who accepts or rejects Krishna. So who rejects Krishna? It's very clear, right? Who are grossly foolish, who are lowest, deluded speculators and professed atheists, right? So they are namam dushkritno mudha prapadyante naradama mayapa ritagnyana asuram mashtataha. So those are the people who reject Krishna. Who accepts Krishna? 4 people again. Distressed, desire of wealth, inquisitive, one who is searching for truth, right? Artho jignasurdharti, artharti jnanicha bhartarshava. So these are the people who accept Krishna. Now, who does Devata worship? celestial gods, demigod worship. Why do they do it? Because they have a lot of desires. They want so many things, material desires, and they have limited understanding. They are less intelligent. So what do they get? They get limited results, and they go to the planets of devatas. Then who can be a devotee? Whoever has got pious credits, we have to have a credit from previous birth, then we can become a devotee. All of you are sitting here are devotees. No sins. Devotional service has to be done with determination. Then only we can become a devotee. So chapter 7 ends with glories of knowledge about Krishna, knowledge of Lord Krishna's energies, surrendering to Lord Krishna, demigod worship, and delusion to devotion. So Lord Krishna is going to explain more about Adi Bhuta, Adi Daiva, Adi Yajna in the next chapter. He is going to tell about these three in chapter 8. He spoke little bit in this. He's tried to speak, but he's not talking. He doesn't want to tell more because he's keeping it for the next chapter. That is why. Let's all do Hare Krishna together today. Start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,